Guys, what are we looking at today? Well, we are going to look at 5 criminally underrated knives. I'm not going to do a big fancy intro right now because, well, it's just kind of a pain with that many knives. But this is the first one we're going to look at. This is the Ferrum Forge NTAC. So let's turn this around, look at the logo, and get right into it. Guys, like I said in the intro, we're going to look at 5 criminally underrated knives. We're going to start with this one right here. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way. And start with the Ferrum Forge NTAC. This is one of my favorite knives of all time. This is the first Ferrum Forge knife I ever bought. It was because I had went up to the shop and hung out with the boys for a day, and I got to handle one, and I found one online available, and I picked it up. This one is amazing. Now, this one's been personalized a little bit. I've done re-anodizing and stuff. Elliot put some jimping on here, and I opened up this to a somewhat choil. But you're looking at is a M390 blade, titanium handles, rolling detent with a bent wire pocket clip and titanium standoffs. Elliot's knives always wind up being super comfortable in hand. Even this small offering right here. This is one that had gotten overlooked by a lot of people, and it's easy to overlook it because there were only ever 200 of these made, and it hasn't been released as one of their production lines. Blade shape on this thing is incredible. It is a beautiful drop point blade that comes down to a relatively thick behind the edge on it, but you can, as you see, like I laid this angle back, you can overcome that a little bit. This still does cut really well. This is a workhorse of a knife with incredible pocket carry. This thing, it just is a dream to carry in your pocket. If you're looking for a really robust, small, folding EDC pocket knife, this would be one I would recommend every day and twice on Sunday. This has got a very smooth action due to the nature of the rolling detent because it's basically its own bearing that's set in a bearing that's set in this little roller motion, so it actually does roll along the blade. And the reason they used that was because it's really large and allowed them to have a larger detent ball but not give up anything on the actual action, and it prevents some of the detent lash and gives it a very snappy action on a very small knife. Super, super great knife. If you can find a Ferrum Forge NTAC, I absolutely recommend picking one up. They are this is one of my favorite knives ever, and it was one that will never leave my collection. It's nice enough, I bought one for my father as a retirement gift. When he passed away, it became my daughter's. So there you go, Ferrum Forge NTAC, the first one of our underrated knives. Your next knife's gonna be the CJRB Ria, which is an incredible little gentleman's folder. This is one of my favorite little knives of all time. Beautiful blade shape that comes down. It's like a scalpel. It looks like that utility blade that comes in an X-Acto kit or a scalpel blade. Beautiful micarta handles, liner lock. It's a very small package done in micarta and AR RPM9 steel, which you guys know I do like the AR RPM9. And it's not because, they made my knives in it and stuff. They made my knives in it because I like the steel. I could have chose a different steel. I really like this. Action on this thing is great. It does not ever fail to open. It's not a slow roller. It is a thumb flipper. The micarta on this is done really well. As you can see, this gets a lot of pocket time. It is very dirty. As you can see, the clean area around the pocket clip. This is not your standard pocket clip. I will let you know that. This is an aftermarket clip. You can purchase those. The liners on this are slightly proud, so it has the redacted scales, so you have that shadow box feature where you can see those really well polished liners all the way around. And it's light because even on a small knife like this, they still did some weight reduction. The blade is just about perfect. It's just an awesome, awesome, comfortable carry pocket knife. One of my favorite small knives ever. Still part of my collection. They sent me this for the channel, and I'm like, I'm keeping this. It's so nice. There were no caveats on that. So if you can pick one of these up, I will put a purchase link for these knives that you're seeing. Any of them that are available, I'll put purchase links down below so you can look them up. But you just can't go wrong with this knife. And it is not a expensive knife. And I think that's why it got overlooked, was because at the price point, people were just kind of overlooking it as just a garbage cheap knife. And it absolutely is not. It is a beautiful showing from CJRB. One of my favorite little knives that came in, I think last year was when I first got this. So the CJRB Ria, absolutely pick one up if you haven't. This is probably next to the Lago, probably one of my favorite knives they've done. So let's go ahead and bring up the next. Actually, there's going to be a little interlude. Guys, what's the two most important things in the kitchen? It's your coffee brand coffee, and your kitchen knives. Doll Strong Knives, two of my favorite affiliate links. Go check them out down below. Coffee brand coffee is 5% off if you use my coupon code CrazySharp, all caps CrazySharp, or just use the link. Guys, back to the knives. This knife is the Chavez Ultramar Street. It's the first production version that he did of Redemption. He did the 228, which was a mid-tech. Then he did this Ultramar Street line, and then he did the 229, which is a full-size version, the Ultramar. So Ramon did a handful of different versions of this knife. I like this one, and it got overlooked because a lot of people wanted the full-on, full big equivalent to the 228, and I think I found this to be a little bit better. It does have a few small issues. It's really thick here at the very tip, but I find it beautiful. And the reason that this gets overlooked, a lot of people don't like this clip. I love the clip. I think it's a gorgeous knife. It has carried well. It has got some of the best action on a thumb stud flipper of any knife I own. These were done by Ria for Ramon under his Chavez knives. He used to have Chavez American made. They went away from that when he stopped doing the mid-techs and started doing strictly production and customs. So this is a great knife. Super smooth action, beautiful blade. It's got a nice hollow and flat, kind of a spanto or a drop point or a hollow grind, compound grind on this. And it is gorgeous. Nice big fuller. It is a beefy knife. It does cut really well up here in the hollow. Up here it is a little thick, but I'm going to tell you, I love this knife. Not just so much because it's just so amazing to look at. It is a piece of pocket jewelry. As you can see, it gets pocket time. I love how this looks. I love how it carries. I love everything about it that are things that should not appeal to me, but it's still just great. And it's been underrated for a long time. So if you can pick one of these up, I absolutely recommend it. The Ultramar Redemption Street series by Ramon Chavez and Ria. Your next knife is coming up right now. This is the Minax, the wee Minax, designed by Elliot Williamson over at Ferrum Forge, but that's not why I like it. This is definitely a knife that hit the market and did well at first, but then kind of just disappeared. I don't know what the issue was with it. It could have been the very phallic looking handle on it. But this was a great knife that got some play, and then it kind of just went away. It's a beautifully done recurve with a big fat belly, comes up nice and super thin behind the edge. This is the thinnest knife that Elliot designed up until he made the Ferrum Forge Aluris frame lock flipper with a big forward finger choil, titanium scales, beautifully done, titanium pocket clip. The action on this thing is great. All of the wee knives have got incredible action, but this thing is super nice and light and so comfortable in hand. Beautiful jimping. It sits in the hand just right. It wants to cut. I carried this on a construction site for a long time, and it handled all the work I would want it to do for really well. This is a prototype, but these are done in, it's right here. I believe I have to check and look because I haven't had this out for a while. CPM 20 CV looks like to me. Yep, CPM 20 CV, Ferrum Forge Divine prototype. You're not going to find a knife that is up to the cutting tasks you want better than this knife. This thing is probably one of the best heavy-duty cutters around. The edge holds up really well. It's easy to sharpen and clean up because it is really relatively thin. You can clean it right up on a ceramic rod. Action on it is amazing. There are no hot spots on this knife at all. You're looking at what I think is one of the best knives on the market, and it just didn't really get the amount of publicity I thought it would. It's a very, very good looking knife, very comfortable. All around a great, great knife. So there you go. There is your wee Minax. Which brings us to the last knife on the list. This is the wee Incisor, and I think this one needs to be brought back. This is a discontinued model. You know, we had Seth on the Seth from Wee Knife Company and Savivi on the other night on the live feed, and we talked about this knife. This thing is the first karambit that I could ever honestly say I liked. This was a gift to me from a friend of mine, Jonas, who used to run the EDC program over at Massdrop. He got this, he gave it to me. It was a gift to me. He's like, hey, do you like it? You can have it. Beautifully, beautifully contoured and built for the hand. Great, great recurve karambit blade that is done in S35 VN. Holds its edge really well. Great, great jimping. All these angles that look weird are definitely meant for a purpose. This thing is probably one of the most secure knives I have in my in your hand that is in my collection. So once you're locked in on this, it's not going anywhere. It is meant to be in your hand. The action on this, flipping action, is awesome. But what it has going for it is has this wave feature that absolutely is better than any other knife. I'm trying not to cut myself. I'm trying to demonstrate it while looking through the viewfinder. This probably works better than any other wave feature that I've seen on the market. This thing is incredible. It catches the pocket just right. It is reversible. You can take it, put it on the other side, or you can take it clear off. Titanium handles on it are just done beautifully with that milling. The pocket clip is unique, but it is not uncomfortable. The nice thing about this is the way you usually carry this, you're gonna have in hand, if you're holding it this way, you've got the pocket clip exactly on the opposite side. It comes out of the pocket, it fires off. It fires off of that so well that it winds up being like the pocket pew-pew of the knife world. Beautiful, beautiful. I did re-anodize this myself, so you know I like it. But there you go, guys. That was 5 knives that I think are just criminally underrated and need to have another look taken at them. So guys, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. There you go, guys. That was 5 knives that are in my collection, or actually I think they're all in my collection, that I think really everybody needs to go and take another look at, because they're definitely underrated. The Minax, I don't know what the issue was with that one. It was such a great knife, and then it just kind of fell off the map, and no one really talks about it anymore. Everybody wants that new shiny thing, and they forget about how good some of the other stuff was. So, guys, that's pretty much it on this one. If you guys like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Interactions with the video is the best thing you can do. So like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. All those things are great. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you set it to all, and then make sure you've got notifications turned on your device. If you want to support the channel, there's a bunch of ways. We'll go through it really quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I have a bunch of affiliate links. It's like self-sponsorship. Anything you purchase doesn't cost you anything at checkout. The Amazon stuff, it doesn't matter what you click on, and I have some that save you money. Coffee Brand Coffee and Atlas VPN offer discounts with my affiliate link. Other ways you can do it, I have got a membership. It's tier-based. There's 3 different tiers. Everyone has access to the Gilded server, which is like my, it's just like Discord. Baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered to giveaways that I do on the Gilded server, and then the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series. And the final way you can support the channel financially is I have a merchandise store where you can pick up my merchandise at a discount of 10% if you use my coupon code CrazySharp. You can also use that over at other creators' stores, so that again, once again, CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, all one word, CrazySharp saves you 10%. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. I hope you're having a good week. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.